Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome back to Mountain Blade to Bannerlord. Today we're going to be diving in with a mod that is going to change absolutely everything for Bannerlord. This is the, and I'm going to butcher this, so I apologize in advance, the Dell'arte, della, guerra. I think I've definitely butchered that last word, but that's what the mod is called. It is set in the 15th century Europe and in the Middle East between the years 1474 and 1494. So it's going to bring a medieval world to Bannerlord, and I am so excited for it. The developers went ahead and posted a really awesome, well actually two really awesome gameplay videos which showed off the first kind of installment of what they're planning, and it looks really good. The armor looks spectacular, the whole kind of atmosphere of the mod looks great, and I cannot wait to see what they do next. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a look at both these videos in today's video, then we'll take a look at the ModDB page as well so we can get a better idea of what the mod is all about. So yeah, let's just dive in with the gameplay right away, and then we will take a look at their ModDB page. Okay, so we are on the battlefield. You can already start to see just the absolutely amazing detail that is in this mod already. The armor looks really goddamn good. One of the things I definitely think that makes this is the flags as well. The flags look really good, as well as obviously all the armor pieces. They have stated though that they are planning on redoing and improving a lot of these assets as well, so these aren't going to be the final assets that'll be in the mod. But I mean, just look at that battlefield, like with all the flags, it really gives me like a Kingdom Come Deliverance vibe to them. I'm a huge fan of that. Obviously you can see the general as well, the lancers. And I believe this is the other side of the battlefield as well. Some of the archers, some of the English longbows move forward. So these are two factions, and this is going to be the first installment of the mod. Is going to be on the British Isles. We're going to focus around the War of the Roses. So the war between House York and House Lancaster. So they're the two factions you are seeing on the battlefield. Again, a bunch of bowmen, and there are also gunners as well in the mod, which you can see as the cavalry continues to follow the commander around the battlefield. But yeah, I mean, it looks really goddamn impressive. The detail they've already got in, and as I said, this is still a mod that is in very much early access stages. So, it's still, everything is very much a work in progress. There you go, the two battle lines are about to clash. The lancers are going to go down. He actually pulls out his Warhammer, so we get a good idea all about that. Okay, so now we are on board with House Lancaster now, so they're going to be fighting in the forest, and I don't know what reshader the modder is using, but it's really goddamn nice. It actually is very impressive. So we get another nice little look up into the kind of battlefield in the forest itself, and all the infantry preparing, all the heavy knights. But obviously, heavy knights are not going to be the only unit in this. You're going to be having, obviously, lighter infantry, militia, and other sorts. But, I mean, just look at the two battle lines getting closer and closer towards one another, and then inevitably clashing. And this is really one of the first glimpses we've had of the heavy kind of later medieval era. There hasn't been really too many mods that have really got to this level quite yet, or at least if they have, they're still kind of biding their time before showing anything. And again, looks really impressive. The soldiers fighting, armor values and all that stuff are going to be so important when it does come to balancing out this. So we're going to have to obviously hopefully see a big revamp to the battle system in this mod. You actually have soldiers, in plate armor, not getting taken down by some looters throwing some rocks and stuff like that. That's going to be a very important feature. And I really like the colourful, battlefield with all the coats of arms on and stuff. And that's very important when it does come to medieval battlefields around this period. So yeah, that is going to be the gameplay, which looks absolutely spectacular. Let's go ahead and dive into their ModDB page so we can get a good idea about what the mod is all about. Okay, so we are on the ModDB page. I'll obviously go ahead and link this down below in the description so you guys can check it out and make sure you do go ahead and follow it. Here they've got obviously their pre-existing videos if you want to watch them again, and we also have some more assets so you guys can get a good idea about other stuff that is going to be in the mod by clicking on these, and obviously you can zoom in, HD view them, and see the other stuff that they are working on. But if we go to the summary of the actual mod itself, you can get a really good idea about what it is all about. So we do have the mod is a global modification which will take place in the late 15th century in the Europe and in the Middle East. Players will be able to participate in wars like the War of the Roses, the Burgundian Wars, the Italian Wars, and many other conflicts, or start a new one, of course. So obviously the idea is that these wars are going to be going on, they're going to be scripted into the campaign to kind of fire at some point. However, you can choose to fight in these wars, or you can just choose to kind of go it alone and, you know, create your own kingdom and create your own wars, which will go down in history. At the moment, the planned features are a large and detailed map of Europe and the Middle East. That's pretty goddamn exciting. Historical accurate troops, titles, and heraldries. Again, pretty good. Gunpowder weaponry and field artillery. Now, I have seen a few mods do field artillery, so it'll be very exciting to see like a bombard or a big old cannon. Or obviously trebuchets. I mean, obviously trebuchets weren't used in field battles, but you know what I mean. Trebuchets would be cool just for the sake of it. Lots of playable factions, of course. If we're having the entirety of Europe, one would expect that. New scenes both in battles and also settlements and sieges. So we'll have our own custom castles, towns, and also battle maps. Custom music and sounds, very exciting, and new quests. So they're going to be the planned main features, and they also talk about how they're going to go ahead and gradually do this. So this isn't something they're going to be adding in all in one massive go. I think that's obviously expecting quite a lot if that was the case, but we are going to be getting a kind of slow installment with parts of the map being filled in. I assume we'll get the entire map when the first, or at least the majority of the entire map when the first version of this mod does drop, but it will be basically a barren, empty land that you won't be able to go, and the campaign will be obviously heavily focused around these areas. So we're going to start off with the War of the Roses. That's why we saw House Lancaster and House York fighting against one another tooth and nail. So the first installment of this mod will be England, Scotland, and the Irish Lordship. So that'll be, you know, I don't know how many castles will be in it. We haven't really got a good idea about how, you know, how to scale and how many castles we'll be getting on the campaign map, but I imagine a fair few to obviously keep you busy whilst they work on the next one. But also probably not going to be that crazy because there's going to be, you know, castles all around the map, so you can't just fill and pump all of them into, you know, Great Britain, because that just wouldn't make sense. So yeah, the first installment will be the War of the Roses, and then they're going to go ahead and focus on the Burgundian Wars. So, you know, even after 2 updates, you have a big old chunk of the campaign map, you know, already stuck in there, which is pretty exciting. Obviously, the Burgundian Wars adding in France, Burgundy, Brittany, the Swiss, and also Savoy. So it's a lot of factions, and again, that will be coupled in with Great Britain. And then we'll get the Spanish Peninsula being added with the Reconquista. So we're getting, you know, plenty of different cultures there with Castile, Aragon, Portugal, Navarra, and Granada. So, you know, nice little fighting going on right there. We'll then have the First Reich as well. So the Holy Roman Emperor will be added into the campaign. It'll be interesting as well to see what the modder does with that, you know, with the HRE system. You know, whether it's going to be similar to how the other monarchies work, or if it is going to be, you know, an election system. That'd be pretty interesting. Again, I don't think that's something that's going to be impossible, because we already have a lot of decisions in the campaign when you can vote for stuff. So why not just make that the faction leader that you vote for? Would be pretty interesting, honestly. As well as that, we'll also be getting Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. So bye-bye, I guess Finland didn't exist or wasn't around at this point. I actually don't know my Finnish history. Educate me down below in the comments. I'd be very interested to see. But yeah, so you also have the Scandinavians, which I know a lot of people are very fond of, you know, factions like Sweden and Denmark, so that'd be very cool. Well, then after that, we'll be getting the Italian Wars, with obviously all the Italian states being added. We'll then be getting the 13th war, so we're going out more into the east between the Teutonic Order, Poland, Lithuania. Then Hungary will be getting added with Wallachia and Moldavia. Then the Ottomans will be arriving, and that'll be a big shake-up to the campaign. And then we have the hordes out with Muscovy, Novgorod, and the Great Hordes. Then we'll have North Africa, the Middle East will be added, which will be a great update. And then finally, we will be getting the additional factions just kind of added in around Asia Minor, which will be very, very exciting indeed. So some really cool stuff, and that's really all we've got right now for the kind of, you know, information about this mob. But I mean, it is looking so goddamn good. The actual campaign footage looks spectacular, and I can't wait to see what the modders will be doing with this, because it has so much potential. And, you know, obviously what they've already shown with that battle scene stuff, it looks really good. And they have asked me to mention that they are recruiting, so if you guys want to go ahead and join this team, if you are skilled in these aspects, then definitely do go ahead and hit them up. They have a little email address right here that you guys can go ahead and check out. And I obviously highly recommend that if you do have these skills, go ahead and join them. So they are currently looking for 3D modelers, they're looking for 2D artists, programmers, and scene makers. So if you're good at making maps, then obviously join up. If you can program, or you have 2D artist skill or 3D artist skill, definitely go ahead and check them out. They also have mentioned as well, and asked me to mention, that they are planning on going ahead and re-implementing all the items that you would have seen in the original battle scenes that we watched earlier on in the video. So they're not the kind of the final products. They're going to continue to improve them, which great. They look great to me, but obviously that is going to that is obviously going to improve as well. So yeah, that's going to be that for the video. The mod looks absolutely spectacular. We've got a kind of a nice little taster of what's going to be in it. Then battle scenes look really good, and I'm sure I would have been posting some battle screens as well for you guys as well. We have a nice little look right here of the overall kind of battle campaign. This is going to be what the campaign map is inevitably going to look like, and yeah, I mean, it looks pretty goddamn exciting. I cannot wait for some big map overhauls and stuff like that for Bannerlord. The future is looking very, very good indeed. So if you guys enjoyed this video, you want to go ahead and see me do more of these kind of mod spotlight videos, whether we have, especially when we have gameplay as well, it's much easier to show them off. Basically just kind of whenever new big mods are getting kind of closer to release or kind of coming on the radar, then if you guys want to see me do that, then make sure you just let me know in the comments down below, and obviously by dropping a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one.